You can say hi here.
Hi. There's a church after you turn back. The Roman barge there.
Carry on.
It's built in the Gothic perpendicular style. One of the main architectural features of the Abbey being the huge windows. 60% of the surface area of the Abbey consists of glass. If you see it when it's lit from within in the evenings, it's quite a spectacular sight. Inside the Abbey, on the walls and the floor, there are 640 memorial plaques to famous people who have died here through the centuries. That is more memorial plaques than in any other church in Britain, with the exception of Westminster. And I know what I'm talking about here because I am in fact an archaeologist. My life is in ruins. It was built in the Georgian period. The Georgian period was 1714 to 1830, so called because during this time there were 4 kings of this country, all called George, one after the other. The last of those was King George IV. Can anyone name the first 3?
George the First.
I'll give you a clue. Henry VIII was not one of them. During the 18th century, Bath became the most fashionable city in Britain. All the rich and famous came here in great numbers to bathe in the hot spa waters, and the whole city was rebuilt and whole new areas were added to house all the wealthy visitors. Beautiful terraces, squares and crescents were built here, and it was all done using Bath stone. Almost everything here, with a notable exception, which we will see later, almost everything's built of the locally quarried pale golden limestone. The buildings up to the right here are the parades: North Parade, South Parade and Grand Parade. They were built in the 1740s and they're called the parades because in front of them they have great big wide pavements. And in the 18th century, that's where all the gentry used to promenade, dressed in all their finery. In those days, it was very important to be seen in public and to be seen wearing all the latest fashionable clothing. So, dressed to kill, they would all parade up and down in front of those buildings, which is how they acquired the name the parades. So most of Bath is Georgian, 18th century, but there are a few Victorian buildings here, 19th century. The church spire up to the right here, that's Victorian. St John's Roman Catholic Church. It was built in 1850 by a man called George Hansom, whose brother, Frederick Hansom, was the man after whom the hansom cab was named, the old horse-drawn carriage. His brother George built St John's, a rather handsome building, one could say. Just going to stop here, have a look up. It's not the church itself we're interested in. There are a pair of peregrine falcons, birds of prey, live up there. Peregrine falcons are the fastest creatures on Earth. In a dive, they can reach speeds of over 200 miles an hour. They prey on other birds mainly, pigeons, magpies, rooks, jays, anything. Let's see if I can spot one. There is one up there. First of all, I'll show you where the nesting box is. At the base of the church spire, facing the river, there's a tall, thin window. At the bottom of that window, there's a box. It's a nesting box, and that's where the falcons actually live. To the left of that nesting box, there is a pinnacle. It comes to a point at the top. It's like an ice cream cone turned upside down. At the bottom of that pinnacle, standing on a little projection, just to the right centre, one of the falcons is standing there. There are a few little pairs of binoculars hanging from the seats. If you wouldn't mind passing those around. The bird is a sort of pale creamy colour on the front. It would be the understatement of the century. He was running around his church shouting, "Bill Oddie, eat your heart out, matey. I got falcons in my spire." They've been here ever since. They breed each year. There were 3 young ones this year, and that brings the total to 16 young they've raised since they've been here. The young ones have gone now. The young ones fly away each year about mid-September. Once they're fully fledged, fully grown, and self-sufficient, learn to take their own prey on the wing in mid-air. The young ones then go off, establish territories of their own elsewhere. But the adult birds live here permanently. They are not migratory. They don't fly south for the winter, set into the decking. That is a canoe slide. It's for canoeists to change levels. Get out, drag the canoe up or down, get back in again. You often see canoeists go up there. You rarely see them come down. They don't bother with that. Canoeists come straight down the fish ladder in the middle. I've done that myself in a kayak, and it's a lot more fun than dragging it down the slide. So Glenn will stop the boat with the bow about this far from the fish ladder. I'll move out of the way. If anyone wants to come down here, take a photo or whatever, please feel free.